I wanted I wanted to send you guys targeted things to do at home or do out and about when you're with the boys. Cooper, please. So one of the things with Cooper is it's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure seeing his personality come out and shine. Like he really has just blossomed as a dog. And he's such a sweet kid. You guys really, really have a good one here. The barking and some of that other stuff, I think you're always going to have, unfortunately, a piece of that in there. I think that's some of the genetics coming out that have been nurtured by his past home. We will get it to a manageable level. We'll get it pretty damn close to being gone. But I think it's one of those things that he may always be slightly barky because he finds it fun. Ultimately, the negative behavior, the negative behavior was rewarded by the thrill of the dopamine chase. So he's an adrenaline junkie. Excuse you. Yes, thank you. Yes. So that's where, oh no, it went in there. Oh no, buddy. There you go. That's a freebie. Sorry, a little squirrely today for myself. Really the biggest thing with him is he finds the joy in barking. He gets the thrill of the chase and the bark itself, not what he's necessarily barking at. Because as soon as we redirect him into, hey, can we sit? Yeah. Hey, can we do something else for training? Hey, can we do this task instead? He's like, oh, yeah, totally. Work with my human? Heck yes. I love it. So that engagement, that's going to be the success marker. The jumping up, some of that other stuff, I think that's some of the learned behavior for Mr. Kai. But honestly, it's also him opening up and letting it's going to sound weird, but it's like he's getting to live his puppy phase in a healthy way. I know, kind of weird, kind of a backward statement, but that's kind of what comes up to me is because he's just like, hey, what's up? And you're like, no, dude, I need you to sit. And he's like, oh, sorry, right. My bad. So whole point of this video is that what I want you to try is doing place with him, and then you're going to do impulse control. So place, leave it. Nope. Cooper. Yes. Sit, leave it. Place. Dude, place. Yes, good boy. No. Kai, or Cooper, okay. I'm sorry, it helps if I say the right name. Oh, man. Hi, Coop, come on. Sit, place. So what you're going to do, and this is kind of real life, like, hey, you're not going to get it right every time, and that's okay. Place. So place, he has to stay there no matter what happens around him, right? Whether you dance, yes, those little paws can't come off. Now, one of the ways to practice it at home is, so his little toes are on that edge. I'm gonna get it out. As soon as they try to come off, yes, good boy. I'm gonna try to get them to come off. And the moment they do, I'm gonna shove him with my body or gently shove my body to him, and he has to get them back up. Yes. Good boy. Yes. Yes. Cooper, okay. When he gets that okay, then he gets a treat. Now, what I like to do with that treat is toss it almost like a bowling ball, so that way it's truly on the ground and they're not jumping up for it. But Coop, sit, place. Doing calm things like walking around him, unloading your dishwasher, calm stuff like this kid has, especially in calm environments. Like, he's like, yeah, I got it. We were still working on our duration, but this he has, yes, go boy, place. It's more of the impulse of, haba, 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 go boy. Cooper, okay. Wasn't expecting him to stay on that one for that one. Usually if I'm like, I'm so excited, he's like, hey, go boy, come on. Okay, sit, place. Now you can say sit, place. You can also just ask for place. But what I want you to do is practice. Can I have, Kai being a goofball, leave it. No. Oh God, I didn't have the leash on that one. Sit. Come Come on, dude. Yes, place. But can I practice? Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Now, see how he's intently looking at that instead of me? What I want him to do, and he's looking at the treat pouch, what I want him to do is to give me, the eye contact. Cooper, sit. It's not just the impulse of coming off of it. It's also the impulse of looking at the person. Yes, good boy. Cooper, okay. Once he gets the okay, then he can have a smorgasbord of treats with it. But it's that initial impulse of, can I get off of it? Now, you've watched me fail on this video a couple times. Give yourself some grace. It's okay if you have failure. You're going to learn just as much as he's going to learn. We're not perfect. By no means are we perfect, and that's okay. But it's about how do we man, I'm having trouble with words. How can we do it over and over again so that way he has the success and you have the success too? Cooper, that's a good boy. And for him, he's like, I'm getting treats. This is the best day ever. All the way on. Now, if you don't have a play, Scott, you can use a rug. You can use a couch ottoman. You can use a dog bed. Doesn't matter. Hey, dude, sit, place. Now, if you like to go, because you guys mentioned that you're kind of an active lifestyle, our one-on-one is definitely where we're going to integrate him in your walks. I know it's so hot right now, so we might have to meet super early in the morning or super late at the night. Just let me know what works best for you. I want to get him integrated with your daily stuff because the more that we get him out into public, the better it's going to be. I don't want you guys completely secluded because it is going to be tough the first couple times. First time you go to like Oso and go to the outdoor bar seating area with him, you may only get one drink or half a drink in. So going in with the terms of, okay, this is Cooper's training session, sit. It's going to help have you have a better mindset to let him have success. Yes, good boy, place. He's still very food motivated, especially with Cooper, especially with higher thresholds, dogs, the lobby, people. But he's a lot more redirectable with those food lures. We'll get out of these, I promise. We'll get out of these. But this is where we're taking away the negative behavior of barking at things with kind of an intensity and replacing it with, it's not perfect. Ultimately, what we want is calm. Oh, hey, I see that person, no big deal. Right now, we're in calm barking, which sounds funny because it's never calm, but calm barking, which will eventually turn into calm behavior. Yes. Now notice, I have a treat. I'm going up and down, place, and he has to basically do a leave it as we're doing this. Good boy! He looks like a little gremlin. I wish I had my phone so you could see a picture. It's adorable. Have fun torturing and teasing him with place and leave it. Okay. Have fun being ridiculous because the more that you basically test him out on this, the better he's going to be with this. I'm also going to have a video about some theories that we're using on how to do the behavior modification for you, but he's come so far. Don't lose hope. Not that I don't think you are, but this is the part that's kind of the long, boring road of training is that we're having progress, but it's progress in areas that you're not expecting. He's getting there and he's understanding it and we're replacing it with good stuff, but it's going to take some more practice and more repetition to get there. And he's on the right path. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll see you guys Wednesday. Hey, so I wanted to film 2 behavior theories behind what we're doing with Kai and Cooper. Actually applies to both boys, but the behaviors that we're working on are a little different. So first theory is called an extinction burst. So what happens with this is that these are the behaviors that you're experiencing. It's the barking, it's the pulling, it's some of that reactivity and chompiness that you're realizing, and it's like, whoa, what is this? When we start working on the behaviors, which is kind of where we're at right now, we're right kind of in the middle of this. This is where we're seeing an escalation of behavior. So this is where he's getting worse and it seems like it's getting harder and harder and harder, but what we're really doing is hitting the root cause of this behavior, teaching him how to replace this behavior with something else. It's the active process of copy and paste and repeat and change and edit and modify. So all the training pieces and parts. But then right here is where it bursts. So all of a sudden we're gonna have this recovery that happens. So we're gonna see a de-escalation of behaviors and de-escalation of something happening. Occasionally you'll have another little jump in behaviors as we work through it. And then there's this thing where it sharply declines, that's spontaneous recovery. Don't mind misspelling, but this recovery is where all of a sudden you're like, whoa, we really haven't had an issue in forever. Or, hey, that's normally a trigger for us, but it's not triggering us now. This extinction burst life cycle is very common when we're working on any behavior modification. So when it's the higher, bigger behavior modification, it is unpacking the right trigger, the right, it's almost like the higher it is, the deeper the root. Like if there's a root in here, that's what we're working to discover and figure out. And as we pick it apart, work on it, and teach them what to do instead, that's where we see these little jumps, and that's spontaneous recovery is when he fully understands it, and we've really proofed out those behaviors. The other thing that I like to talk about in behavior training is that if we have a core behavior here that we want to get to, don't mind me and my colors, dog training is a little bit like this, where it may feel like it's random chaos or we're doing something that doesn't pertain to, hey, I want this over here. But really what happens, and I'm going to use green as like our mysterious commands, so leave it, place, leash walking, name game, stuff like that. So as we work on skills all over the place, while it might seem like it's just, there's no rhyme or reason to it, what's happening is that first week of training, here's our box of skills. And then that second week, oh, hey, our next box of skills got a little bit closer. And then the third week of training got a little bit closer. And then, oh, we kind of got it, but we still had to swing out back at here. The idea is that as it overlaps, it's all overlapping into where we want that expectation behavior, where we want the goal of training to be. We'll get there, but we kind of get it in a random projection. It overlaps on top of each other. It's also kind of like a sandwich analogy, where, if you look at your sandwich, you have two pieces of bread. If you're a big sandwich person, like my husband loves sandwiches, and he loads them up to where it's like cheese and dressings and veggies and then meat and then another round of a different type of cheese and maybe some more veggies and then another type of dressing. And then he has like specialty bread that he uses for sandwiches. As detailed or as simple as your sandwich is, ultimately, you want the meat of the sandwich. But sometimes you can't just go straight for the meat. Having all the things around it help it make the sandwich that much better. Can you tell that I've had lunch today? The idea behind this is truly and honestly, how do we support the behavior, but also how do we develop it to where it's not just, turkey, it is a nice BLT turkey sandwich. In regards to what else goes alongside of it. These are kind of the theories behind it and some fun analogies of how we do dog training, or how our focus on whether it's Kai's teenager and focusing or it's Cooper's barking. Both of these apply. It's just different principles or different reactions that we're working on to shift or change. Let me know if you have any questions and if this makes sense. It's a little more theoretical, but I do like to share this because there's guiding principles of how we get to where we want to go. It's like a protocol of how we get to where we want to go. And sometimes it always feels like we're not making it or we're not getting that big improvement, but really ancillary. And as we progress, we are making improvements. It's just not showing where we're so hyper-focused on. So let me know if you have any questions.